fan-led football podcasts.
Want authentic supporter insight on all things Bournemouth? Follow Up the Cherries in all departments on the Talksport Fan Network.
Club-dedicated content created by the fans, for the fans.
Search Talksport Fan Network.
Hello, Cherries fans, and welcome to this impromptu live here on Up the Cherries in all departments. Now, I thought I'd do one of these because mainly we had quite a bit of time between recording with Luke Cotterill from Cassia. Do go check it out if you haven't already. Fantastic opposition preview show. Just go further back in this playlist and you will be able to find it. And of course, we had the Villa game in between as well. So that was a really, really important game, of course, which we did lose. And that has kind of altered everything. So I wanted to do this impromptu video and it's live as well. I know that we have got quite a few people watching already, but I wanted to do this mainly because of the amount of time. And of course, there was a game for Manchester City yesterday that was in the FA Cup against Crystal Palace, which they did lose 1-0, thanks to a fantastic strike by Erebeshi Eze, somebody who I've actually said previously that I would love AFC Bournemouth to sign. Now, how does this change the parameters of everything? Now, looking at it, it doesn't actually change too much as long as Chelsea win the Europa Conference League. Now, if Manchester United or Spurs win, of course, they're miles away. They're crap. Let's be fair. They're both naff. So as long, it doesn't really matter on that. If Chelsea win the Europa Conference League, they go into the Europa League. Now, if they finish in that position, in the Europa League place, then the places will move down. So it will move down to 8th. However, we do have something to overturn. Of course, the Brentford game is coming up as well today. So do keep that in mind. Big hello to Malcolm Chiverton. Hope you're doing well, Malcolm. And always good to see you. Like I say, very, very, very impromptu video. Man City fans, do let us know your thoughts about that Crystal Palace defeat. Now, how does this really change things for AFC Bournemouth in particular? Personally, I think City are a little bit on the ropes here. They've been in quite good form recently. Of course, one of the games in that good run of form was beating ourselves, but of course they did draw against Southampton before this FA Cup defeat. Now, when you've been on such a good run of form, like we found earlier on in the season, sometimes when this sort of thing happens and you do have that defeat, the confidence will be knocked. Now, Pep will be going in there and he'll be trying to G them up ahead of the visit from ourselves. But honestly, I think that this does change things in our benefit. I think AFC Bournemouth should be going into this. Firstly, we need to win this game. If we got any hopes of actually getting European football, we've got to go into it with all guns blazing, just really hoping for the best. And hopefully we can get a result combined with the other results, which does put it back in our hands. It's a tall ask going to the Etihad, but actually I think, and I'm hoping, that everything has kind of aligned itself. The stars have aligned. Of course, I'm doing it live. The main reason being is because Brentford are playing in a bit. So that could, of course, throw this whole argument into, nothingness really. Brentford have got 2 points ahead of us. If they do win their game today, that goes to 5 points. We've then got to hope. We've got to hope and pray that, those we can win both matches and they lose their last match. That's really where it's got to come down to. But I tell you what, it's I think it has changed things. City were banging on the door. They weren't themselves yesterday against Crystal Palace, but they were what I would say of a considerable standard. That they can still bother teams. They're going to bother any team. in the Premier League. Let's be perfectly honest. But of course, we did this preview couple of weeks back with Lou from Cassia. Of course, he is now on tour. Hopefully, some people who watch this channel have seen them, and like I say, do go check out his thoughts and what he says about Man City and this season. But I think it does change things, and we've just got to hope that we go into this match now, with all guns blazing, full of guile, full of determination, and let's just hope that there's a positive result at the end of this one. Of course, nothing's guaranteed in football. We know that. What team does Iriola play? I think, Dean Howson has is a credit to himself. I think we've got to go with Dino because, what he's actually come out with and what he said, and, the way he's a model professional, unlike a certain Ryan Fraser. He's a model professional that is going to play these last two games for AFC Bournemouth, and he's going to give his all, regardless of going to the biggest club, without a shadow of a doubt in the world. Sorry, City fans that think that they might be the biggest club in the world, but let's be honest. Real Madrid are something else. They are on a different pedestal. One thing that does make me wonder is because, of course, there was some rumours that Dango Ouattara, was wanting permanent, regular time in the starting 11. Now, the thing is no club in the world can actually say, we can give you, you know, we can give you guaranteed appearances. No club in the world is going to be able to do that. So Dango Watara, if that is what he is demanding, it's absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous, and it kind of shows that he's probably not somebody that should be part of Iriola's plans moving forwards. I think that might be why we didn't see him against Villa. I know that other excuses were made, but Iriola's not going to come out and turn around and throw the player under the bus. He's obviously negotiating it internally. That's if these rumours are true. Who knows if the rumours are true or not? But there's no point in players trying to dissettle this squad whilst we have still got that glimmer of hope of European football. And let's be hope, after today and after Tuesday, it's more than just a glimmer of hope. Let's hope it's a lot bigger. It's a lot more, of an opportunity. Um, like I say, um, here we are. This is what Malcolm said. I think we'll get a positive result, but it'll be meaningless with regards to Europe. To be honest, I can't disagree with that, Malcolm. And I think, Malcolm, you've hit the nail on the head there. I think the other teams probably do what they need to do. The power is in their hands. The power is in our hands before that Villa game. And if we had won that Villa game, we would still have control of the situation. We haven't now. We haven't now. I think what we've got to do is just go for it. Let's see if we can get the 3 points. If we can get the 3 points, you never know. But of course, with Brentford playing later on today, it could put a spanner in the works. Although that game is against a team who are, also in competition for that, and they need to definitely win. So it will be very, very, very interesting to see how this all pans out. I think there's a lot of twists and turns. There always is in football, but um, I can't see European football for us, unfortunately, at this moment in time. I have to agree with Malcolm. I might be the most positive person. I'm not like some of these fans that we've seen on X saying that, this season's been a disaster. We've taken our foot off the gas and all that rubbish. I think what we have done is, tremendously well. And, Malcolm said it the other day on cherry picking that, this is a season that we should celebrate, not a season that we should be disappointed because we were in a position where if everybody was dreaming, and then it's kind of fallen away. Hey, it's one of those. It's one of those. Like I say, leave the comments in the comment section below of how you think this game is going to go, Cherries fans. Like I say, it's going to be short, sweet, snappy, impromptu video, this one, because of course the Brentford game, and then of course, everything might change. We will do some more of these as well. I will do some more of these throughout the summer when we hear possible news coming up. And there is a couple of rumors that have been circulating with regards to players. There was a player as well today that was actually mentioned, a current PSG player. Now we are in competition for this player with Chelsea, and I also believe another team. So yeah, it will be very, very, very interesting to see how that goes. But like I say, we'll cover that in a bit more in detail at a later point. But let us know what you think and how you think this is going to go. I will probably make more of an agenda for these impromptu shows moving forwards. But I thought, hey, I'll do one today, just to cover off the City game and what I think. So I'm going for a 2-1 win still. I think, we are going to do Manchester City at their place. I think, City are going to be angry, but they are going to be a little bit shell-shocked. They still need results to get in the Champions League places. They are outside of it as it stands at the moment. But the big thing is that they wanted the trophy, and they now have not got that at all from this season. So, yeah, there's going to be a lot of discontent at the Etihad. Pep at the end, to be honest, it was shameless, really. Where he started having a go at Dean Henderson. Dean Henderson played a fantastic game for Crystal Palace. Some of the saves that he made were, fantastic, unbelievable. But at the same time, Pep just started going off his head, and it was just completely and utterly unprofessional from the Manchester City manager. I was surprised Marmoush took the penalty actually for City. I've got to be honest, Erling Haaland looked like he was going to take it. I think it was something that was determined beforehand, but when you've got Erling Haaland on the pitch, wouldn't you normally play, and allow him to take that penalty? Of course you would. That made absolutely zero sense. So, like I say, let us know what you think. Let us know what you think the score will be in the comments below. Thank you to the people that have joined me on this live. Got 15 people. So thank you to every single one of you for joining me on this live. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit the bell button, and we shall see you very, very soon for a more feature-length show.
The Talksport Fan Network.
The ultimate on-demand destination for the UK's best fan-led football podcasts.
Want authentic supporter insight on all things Bournemouth? Follow Up the Cherries in all departments on the Talksport Fan Network.
Club dedicated content created by the fans, for the fans.